I've tried to read Jane Austen before, and I've never really gotten into it. So I have Emma by Jane Austen. Emma, first published in 1816, was written when Jane Austen was at the height of her powers. In it, we have her two greatest comic creations, the eccentric Mr. Woodhouse and that questionable bore, Miss Bates. In it, too, we have the most profound characterization, the witty, imaginative, self-deluded Emma, a heroine that author declared no one but myself will much like, but whose has been much loved by generations of readers, delightfully funny, full of rich irony. Emma is regarded as one of Jane Austen's finest achievements. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. Then Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. I'm for sure keeping this. Okay, you know what? Wuthering Heights, I'm putting in the maybe pile too. I know, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I'm interested. But Around the World in 80 Days is about this guy, Felix, I can't read, Mr. Fogg, who bets his entire life savings that he can go around the world in 80 days without going on a plane, though. So he goes by train, by bus, I think he goes on the back of an elephant through the jungle, and it's like this epic adventure. I'm really excited for this one, so I'm keeping it. This is the kind of excitement that I want in my books. So if I'm not this excited for a book, I'm unhauling it. Alright. Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. I think I'm going to give this one a shot. I don't think I've ever read anything by Charles Dickens. But I know that he's a great beloved writer. And I know that this has something to do with Oliver Twist, whose mom died during childbirth. So he's basically an orphan. And he got his name from the government. Like someone in the government named him. And I think it's just like his crazy adventures as an orphan. I love stories about orphans. It breaks my heart usually, but this one might be kind of good. So I'm going to keep this one and give it a shot. And then Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So I don't know if I'm going to like Frankenstein. So I read Dracula this year. I know they're completely different. Dracula is vampire and Frankenstein is a monster. But I don't really like monster stuff. I'm unhauling it. I'm unhauling Frankenstein. And you know what? Honestly, even if I unhaul something here, it doesn't necessarily mean that I won't read it eventually. It just means that it's been sitting on my shelf and I haven't picked it up yet. If I really want to or need to read any of these books, I can always go to my library. You know? I think that's a better idea for classics for me anyway, because I don't tend to love them as much, but I don't know why I didn't think of that before. But if you see me unhaul one of your favorite classics or one of your favorite books in general, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to read it. It just means at this time, I don't need it sitting on my shelf. Alright, then let's talk about this. So this is one of my dice. I have two of them. The other one's black. and white, and this one's gold and white. So my friend actually gave this to me as a going away present when I left, when I moved away for college. She got me a few really cute things to take with me, and this was one of them. It says boss, woman, courageous, strong, powerful, confident, things like that. I try and change it every day, but I don't always. So this is a sticker book. It has all my planning stickers in there. Because I am a planner. I wasn't always like that, but for 2021, it's not even 2021 yet, but for 2021, I already have 5 planners, and I need to organize them and get them ready for the year and everything. It's something that I really enjoy doing, which is weird for me to say because I never thought anything organizational would be my type of thing, but as time goes by, I get more organized, and I think it's the teacher in me, but I'm super excited to do my artsy planner stuff. I'm so excited for it. And then last year for Christmas, my husband got me 2 planners because I told him I needed at least 2, maybe 3. So he got me 2 really cute ones that I got to fill out and do everything for. And then a lot of what was planned got canceled. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to think about it like that. So I'm super excited. All right. Then let's get back to the books. All right. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. So I've tried to read this a few times. It's like a utopian, which really doesn't exist. So it's like the first ever dystopian written. I wanted to love this. I thought I would love this, but I'm going to unhaul it because I have tried to read this a few times and I haven't ever gotten past page 89. So I don't think I'm ever gonna care enough to read it. Alright, and then these ones were actually dollar store finds, so they're not classics or historical fictions. This is What She Saw by Gerard Stimbridge. So this is about a woman who goes to Paris, and she's staying at this hotel where like famous people stay a lot, and she somehow stumbles into the elevator for the penthouse, and she witnesses something she wasn't supposed to witness, and then she becomes a target. That's all that I know, but I'm excited. Then there's The 12 Lives of Samuel Hawley by Hannah Tinton. And I don't know much about this one. I got this one because, well, it was at the dollar store. So it was only $1 for a freaking hardback, for one. But for two, it's like a father-daughter relationship. And I can't think of a single book that has a father-daughter relationship except for The Shape of Family. But that has a mother-father-daughter-son relationship. So I feel like that one's just a whole family dynamic, so it's a little bit different. So I was interested to see about this and how far a father would go for his daughter. So I was just really intrigued by it. I've never seen anything like it, but I will definitely be keeping it. Then we have Before We Go Extinct by Karen Rivers. So this plays a lot with the environment we live in and how we like pollute the earth and how we're ruining the earth that we live on. But it also deals a lot with grief, because this boy witnesses his best friend being murdered or dying. I don't know if he gets murdered. Okay, so he died by falling off a skyscraper, which could or might not have been an accident. And so that's hard. So I feel like this one's gonna be a heartbreaker, but I'm definitely excited for it. Like, I love to read the books that deal with hard issues, because those are the books that need to be read, and they speak to my soul more than like the happy upbeat books do. So it's not like I'm demented and I really like reading that kind of stuff. It just speaks to my soul, and it breaks my heart. Those kind of books break my heart, but I feel like they have to be read. So I enjoy them in that aspect, if that makes sense. And the last one that I found at the dollar store last time I went is Hagseed by Margaret Atwood. Oh my gosh. So I am a huge Shakespeare fan, and this is a retelling of The Tempest. So I'm all for this right now. Like, honestly, my favorite Shakespeare is Romeo and Juliet. But anything Shakespeare or any remake of Shakespeare, I'm all for. Which says a lot, because I don't even own Shakespeare. But I would love to own the Shakespeare collection, so eventually, I will. This was also on my bookshelf. It says Chihuahua. So this was the first ever Secret Santa that I participated in. My friend David, he got my name. He was the pizza cook and I was the cashier at this restaurant in Laughlin, Nevada. And he got me this Chihuahua. He got me this Chihuahua that says Chihuahua. Because he knew that I had 3 Chihuahuas, and he said that he saw this and thought of me. So I adore this little Chihuahua. Chihuahua. Let's go through this stuff real quick. So we already went through the sticker book. I'm not gonna show you these yet, because I might do a whole video about my bookmarks, but this is most of my bookmark collection. And then I've been married for a couple years, and a month before we got married, I took my husband to Disneyland because he had never been. And there they gave me this. And I was just like, oh, it's not my first visit. You can keep that. And they're like, no, keep it. It's fine. It's his first visit. Because I tried to get them to give him like a pin and stuff. I tried to tell everyone that it was his first visit. I was the annoying fiance at the time. Like, oh my God, it's his first visit. Make sure that, yeah, you do everything. So they gave him one, and then they gave me one too. And it's just a cute little knick-knack that I keep in my books. And then this one is my newest little thing on my bookshelf. So I got this at the dollar store when I picked up my books. And it says, "Smart is my superpower." And then it's got, those glasses actually look like my glasses too, when I wear my glasses. But it's just so cute. And you could even put it like on the wall or something, but it was only $1 and it's just super duper cute, so of course I had to get it. And then here's one more stack of books, and then I think we got one more, and then we have to go through the maybe pile. So the first one is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. I don't know if I want to read this or not, but I think I'm going to unhaul it. My husband has a copy. He has not the Barnes & Noble collection one. His is way bigger than mine and everything, but if I really want to read it at any point, I can just borrow it from him. Just go steal it from his shelf. And I bet you he wouldn't even know that it was missing, because honestly, the only things he really reads are like tech books and business books, which is cool for him, but that's not my thing. So I think I'm gonna unhaul this just because he does own a copy that he's had for ever since he was a kid. So I'm gonna unhaul that one. I don't need it. Then The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I have no idea what this book is about, and if I ever decide that I want to read it, I can always borrow it from the library. So I'm unhauling that one too. Alright. Then there's Jaws by Peter Benchley. This is about a shark attack. Probably. It's a scary book, or it's supposed to be. If I read this, then I can watch the movie. So I really want to read this, so I'm going to keep it. Alright, and then there's To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So I think I'm actually going to unhaul this. I don't really know what it's about. And my brother-in-law, I mean, he lives several hours away now, so I can't just go over and steal his book. But if I wanted to borrow his book, he would let me. And I'm sure I could even talk him into shipping it to me, and then I could either ship it back or drive it up. But we live on one side of the state, and he lives all the way on the other. So we don't really see each other all that often, but I know that it's one of my brother-in-law's favorites. My husband said that my brother-in-law used to love this book as a kid, and so I got it. And then I also got it because it's a classic, but like I said, I don't know what it's about, so I'm just gonna unhaul it. Doesn't necessarily mean that someday I might read it, you know. It just means for now, I don't see the point in it sitting there unread. I think someone else who will read it and take care of it should get it. Then there's Water for Elephants by Sarah Ruin. I don't know very much about this other than it's historical fiction. I believe there's a romance, and it's like a circus. But there's also a movie that I could watch if I read the book first. Or after I read the book. Not if, but when. Okay, so I got my Post-its for school and to design my planners the way that I want them to come out. So that was more of a fun thing for me. Which is funny because I've never been an organized person, but in the past few years I've gotten pretty organized. And I love doing crafty stuff, and I just think it's the teacher in me, you know. I just gotta let her shine a little bit. Alright, so there's these two, which I got from my mom when I went to visit. She took a couple of my old books that I didn't want anymore, and she gave me these two, so I will be keeping these two. Okay, so there's Nobody's Fool by Richard Russo and Songs Without Words by Ann Packer. These both will work perfectly for a couple of the challenges I'm going to be doing next year. This one works for a goal, this one works for a challenge. Super duper excited. I think I might go over all the challenges and all my goals But in a later video, kind of closer to the end of the year, when we go over how good or bad I'm doing on my current goals, like reading more classics. All right, and then there's Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. This is supposed to be a scary book. That's all I know, but I'm going to keep it because, again, I can read this and then watch the movie. So my husband doesn't know it yet, but we're going to have a ton of movie nights in 2021 of watching all the movies to the books that I just currently read. You know, he doesn't know it, but we're going to. And then there's also Outrun the Moon by Stacey Lee, which was another dollar store find. So this is a historical fiction set in San Francisco that might help me with a challenge. Okay, and then this is the last stack of books. And then we're done with this video. Alright, so The Never-Ending Story by Michael Ende. I'm for sure keeping this. The movie, The Never-Ending Story movie, was one of my favorites as a kid. It's like enchanting and magical and amazing, which I don't like fantasy. So it's weird that I loved this as a child. So it's about a book that comes to life. Who wouldn't want to read that? So I definitely have to keep that on my shelf. Then there's Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. It's about dinosaurs. What else is there to say? So yeah, I have to keep that one. Then Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. So this one's going to be another one that's going to be hard to read. It's going to break my heart. It's about this girl named Anne Frank who was 13 years old, I think, when she wrote this. It's about like the Holocaust. And it's something that I want to read. It's gonna be emotional. It's gonna break me. But these are the hard books to read, are the ones that need to be read the most. So I'm definitely going to be keeping that one. Then I'm going to put both of these on the maybe pile. Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Then Planet of the Apes by Pierre Boulle is about apes taking over the world. And there's a movie that I want to see based on the book, so I gotta read the book first. So I'll keep that one. Beyond the Bright Sea is a historical fantasy novel? Yeah, historical fiction. Okay. But it's middle grade, and that's why I got it, because it was middle grade, but I don't think I'm interested. I'm going to put it on my maybe pile, but I don't know if I'm interested. Then Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. I honestly don't know what this is about at all. And I can get it from my library if I ever find the need to read it. So I'm going to unhaul that one. And all we have left is the maybe pile. So I try to read as many middle grade and kid books as I can because I won't put them in my classroom unless I've read them. but I'm not going to read this one. So I think I'm just going to unhaul this one. I haven't been interested in it, and there was something about the writing when the one time that I did try to read it, I could not get into the writing. So I'm going to unhaul that one. Alright, then these are all of Jane Austen's, well, 3 of Jane Austen books and Wuthering Heights. So just because I unhaul any of these doesn't mean I'm not going to read them. So I'm going to unhaul Wuthering Heights. It's been on my shelf too long. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to like these. So I'm going to keep Pride and Prejudice to give it one more shot. But I have tried to read both of these before, and I did not like them. You know what? I'm just going to unhaul all 3 of them. And if at some point I find that I want to read them, then I can get them from my library. So I'm not definitely saying that I'll never read them. I'm just saying that they don't need to be on my shelf. Like, I feel better though. I got rid of quite a few books. Okay, so I'm unhauling these 11 classics. So it makes me feel good. So I cannot wait to do the rest of these and tell you about all the goals and challenges for my channel next year. And I just feel really good today. So thank you guys for hanging out with me and decluttering shelf number 1 of 7, I think. Number 1 of, well, technically I have 9 shelves, but my TBR shelf is just whatever Bookopoly picks for me for the month, so I don't think I'm going to be doing that one. And then the other shelf that's in my closet is just teaching books. I'm not going to unhaul any of them. They range from kinder level all the way to like middle grade, because I know I want to teach kinder or possibly first grade, but you never know what happens. This world is crazy, and maybe I'll end up teaching a 4th grade class, and then I'll have some like light middle grades for them to read. So I have a mixture of a little bit of everything, and I am very aware that if I end up teaching kinder or first, like I think I will, then some of those books are a little bit old for them. It's too hard for them to read, but that's okay. Since I'm still in school and I don't know quite yet what grade I'm going to teach for sure, I have an inkling that's going to be younger kids. But, you know, I need my options open. So I don't think I'm going to go through that shelf either. But you never know what happens. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. These are all going to be on hold. And then next week, or maybe the week after, I don't know, it might be every other week, I'm going to do a new shelf. So it'll be this one, which is my fantasy and sci-fi shelf. So subscribe to my channel if you want to see all the changes that are coming to this channel, and like this video. And yeah, I'll just catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.